Hi there, YouTube. Jello again. Aaron here from My Turbo Reviews, and I'd like to regale you today with a tale from the earliest days of Transformers. This is a true story, something that really did happen to me. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. It was sometime in the fall of 1984, and Transformers Mania was already well set upon me. I had amassed myself a small but decent collection of figures already. Brawn, Trailbreaker, Prowl, and a few others. Now, at the time I had a nephew, my sister's kid, who was about 5 years younger than I am, and he was, I would say, an average Transformers fan. Just about as much as your regular kid of his age would have been at that time. You know, not rabid like I was, but, you know, had a passable knowledge and had a certain want for the figures. And needless to say, his collection was not quite as expansive as mine, and he was always looking to glom on to any figures that would happen to come his way. One day I got a phone call from him. He had just spoken to his grandmother, who told him that she had been to the store and spotted a Transformer there that she thought he might like to have. Of course, he immediately asked her which one it was. That's something that any one of us would have done at the time. And she didn't know names or anything like that, but she described it for him, and she described it as a little red truck with silver pipes. Now, this being fall 1984, there really wasn't much to go on. We had the original 18 Autobots and the original 10 Decepticons. And really, only one figure really out of that initial 28 fit that description. And the thought ran across my mind, oh my god, she's picked him up, Optimus Prime. An assessment that he readily agreed with. And his grandmother had told him that she would give it to him the next time she saw him. Needless to say, he was ecstatic about getting his hands on Optimus Prime himself. And that left me a little bit jealous, because up until that time, Optimus Prime had eluded my grasp. I never had quite enough money for it, being somewhere between $20 and $25, and I hadn't been able to convince any of my family members to buy it for me yet. So, as I said, I was a little jealous. Still, somehow he got me to agree to help him to put the stickers on the figure once he had it in hand. And about a week went by and I hadn't heard from him. I got a phone call from him again saying that he still hadn't got the figure, but he was due to go visit his grandmother that weekend. So I waited to hear from him, and that Sunday he gave me a brief phone call to say, hey, I'm going to my grandmother's house, I'll talk to you when I get home. And of course I couldn't wait for that, so I got on my bike and I rode the short distance it was between where I lived and where my sister lived to wait for him to come home. And I remember their car pulling up. They had some sort of ancient station wagon with wood paneling on the sides. And I saw him get out of the car, and he had this look on his face, and I couldn't tell if it was perplexion or awe. But I saw clutched in his tiny little hand, not Optimus Prime, as the both of us had deduced from his grandmother's description. Rather, she had picked him up. Huffer. That's right. The both of us were bamboozled by the fact that his grandmother apparently couldn't tell the difference between red and orange.